All right, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our November CFMA Member Benefit Series. My name's Laura O'Connor. I'm CFMA's Membership Director, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. It's my pleasure to introduce CFMA's newest affinity partner, Mobilia Consulting. Representing Mobilia is Hannah Toulouse, Executive Vice President of Business Development. She's got over 12 years of experience. Hannah is a dynamic leader committed to helping companies save on wireless costs. Mobilia Consulting specializes in uncovering hidden expenses and optimizing plans through detailed billing analysis and ongoing monitoring with no upfront fees. Their goal is to deliver predictable, optimized billing without sacrificing service quality, empowering businesses to focus on growth. You may also know Hannah in her role as president of CFMA's Austin chapter. If you have questions during the presentation, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll be sure to address them. There's also a Q&A at the end. I'll send a follow-up email in a few days with the recording. And Hannah, I'll turn it over to you.
All righty, folks. Well, thanks for here. Oh, I just muted myself. Okay. Thanks for being here, everyone. It's nice to see a lot of the names that I recognize throughout the CFMA. It's a Monday afternoon, right before the election. So when I say thank you for being here, I genuinely mean that. I know our brains are elsewhere, but we're just going to take a quick 30 minutes this afternoon. We're going to go over what we do for CFMA members. There's a big reason why CFMA brought us on as an affinity partner. We're a small boutique firm, and we've tried our best to reach as many of y'all as we can in our home chapters. And we've made the biggest impact that we can with our small team. But now, as being an affinity partner, we're able to really reach a lot of members that maybe we haven't met yet in person. So we're excited to present this. As Laura said, feel free to use the chat if you have questions. If I see it, I'll answer it. If not, we can get to it later. But yeah, so let's dive in. The reason that we're here today, it's very simple. The money that you're paying for your wireless services could be a lot less than what it is now without having to cut corners or sacrifice quality. The hard truth is your wireless carrier is not motivated to save you money. In fact, they are banking on you not finding better deals for yourself and for your company and not being able to stay on top of just very confusing promotions. So today we're going to show you our approach and how we can make a measurable difference for your bottom line and save time with your monthly management. So along the way, I'm going to share just a couple quick videos of a fellow CFMA member. Y'all probably will recognize them. I'm going to share the video because they were able to express way better than I can their partnership with us, and you'll be able to hear from another member their input. So how did we get here today? How do we become members with the CFMA and why? We're going to go back to 2009. Our founder, his name is Donovan Lashley. He's in Charleston. He first got into the cost reduction space back in 2009 because he worked for Verizon and AT&T for more than a decade. And he noticed consistently a reoccurring issue with his business customers. That's what he did. He was a sales rep for companies. He noticed that they were overpaying on their wireless bill, often by thousands of dollars every single month. So because he was working on the carrier side of things, he saw firsthand just how complex the billing structures are. He saw the hidden fees that are packed in the invoices that you get, and he watched his customers either overuse data plans or even underuse the data plans. So he was watching these companies that he had as clients waste substantial portions of their budget. So one day, one of his clients, a construction firm, actually came to him and asked, "You need to help save us money." They asked him to just help them out because they have worked together for a long time. So Donovan was determined to help. He went back and was analyzing their bill line by line by line and was able to uncover unnecessary charges, the hidden fees. He saw opportunities to consolidate plans. And all of this led, and this is again back in 2009, it led to saving that one client over $40,000 in one single year. So those savings really made a big impact for their budget, and it sparked an idea for him. So with his knowledge of the carrier operations, he saw that potential to help a lot more people take back control over their spending. So that's how Mobilia Consulting was born. We now have a team, our team members that do audits and manage our plans for our clients. They're all ex-Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile employees. So they really know their stuff. Our mission is very simple, yet it's powerful. We're here to provide you a straightforward and transparent way to reduce your wireless cost and help you navigate the confusing world of carrier billing and data. So with our partnership, we're going to be able to do this on a larger scale. So the next portion we want to talk about, now that you know a little bit of our history and who we are, we want to talk about your problems. What we have seen in the last 15, 16 years, the problems that you have are really boiled down to three main things. Number one, your carrier is not focused on saving you money. Your carriers are there to provide you a service, right? But they, when I say they, I mean your sales rep that is assigned to your account. They're rarely going out of their way to come to you proactively with cost-saving options. So because of that, the average overspending that we see when we conduct a 12-month audit is 40%. That's a lot of overspending. So number one, your carrier, they're not focused on savings. Number two, complex bills lead to missed promotions. Invoices, the actual layout and format of your monthly invoice, is designed to be confusing to keep costs high. Carriers will often release very time-sensitive promotions that could lead to even 50% of savings every month. But those promotions are hard to track, and it causes companies to miss out on those opportunities because they're hard to find and they're hard to track and they're very time-sensitive. So then number three, the biggest problem we're seeing for y'all, especially in the CFMA, is limited support. How often does your carrier reach out to you to reduce your costs? Or how often is your sales rep guiding you through plan optimization services? And when it comes to your assigned sales rep, the turnover is unreal. Typically, we see 3 to 4 months and you're getting a new carrier hop on board to manage your account. They're very hard to get a hold of. So those are the biggest three problems that we're seeing amongst the CFMA. And we have three solutions for those problems. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go over the three-step process that we have set up to help each of you controllers and CFOs save money and save time with the management. So the three-step process is number one. What we're going to do for you is we're going to conduct a complimentary review of your wireless account. Whether it's T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, or a little bit of all of them, we're going to go in and line by line by line, we're going to review the account. The audit is risk-free and it's complimentary. We can't just go back 1 month and look at the last month of your invoice because we understand construction goes up and down throughout the year and throughout the season. So when we go back very, very detailed through the 12 months line by line, we're going to be reviewing the data usage, the billing errors, contract compliance, unpublished rates. We're not reducing any of your features. We're not going to be changing services without your approval. What we're going to be doing is looking for better rates, give you services at a lower cost, and if we can, actually increase the benefits and features that you do have. And I mentioned this before, but the reason why our group is so qualified and equipped to do this is because our analysts used to work for the carriers that you're currently using. So they have spent years and years and years dealing with the carriers and they understand how they operate. So on top of that, what gives us a little bit more of an edge, the secret sauce, so to speak, is we have internal access to the carriers' databases and their software. So the same system that Verizon is using, we are using, which means we can get a hold of special pricing codes and unpublished rates and plans, and then use them in your behalf. So as we're auditing your account, give us a few weeks to do so, we're going to be building you a custom and unique cost reduction strategy, aiming for a 30% savings every month. And typically, those savings are going to be realized and implemented within the very next billing cycle. So our average is 40, but we're going to aim for 30. And if, hey, we can do more, then that's just the cherry on top. So again, the first step is we're going to review your accounts. We're going to build you a cost reduction strategy moving forward. So number 2, once we have done that work, once we have built this strategy for your accounts, we're then going to have a follow-up meeting with you. It can be on Zoom, it could be in person, whichever you prefer. It'll last about 20 or 30 minutes. We're going to present to you our findings and our recommendations. We're going to present to you what we believe with our expertise, how you should optimize the account to really get a hold of those savings. So again, using our internal access to the carriers, we're able to get those special pricing codes and leverage our carrier insights to secure those best possible rates. So based on the audit findings and with your approval, we're going to implement that strategy that's going to align with your actual usage and your business requirements. And this is going to result in significant savings. Please don't forget, you remain in charge of your account. This is still your account, you're in charge, and you can give us the green light to implement the whole strategy, parts of the strategy, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's up to you. But once you give us the green light, we're then going to help you manage the account on a monthly basis. And really, this is what has kept our partners the most happy long term. Because monthly, we're going to provide for you ongoing monitoring of your wireless usage and the bills so we can ensure that continuous savings and that plan optimization. And for those of you who love reports and Excel spreadsheets, which most of you do because you're all accountants, we're going to provide to you regular reports on a monthly basis. Very simple, 2 columns in black and white, so you can track the savings and performance improvements. And we can have follow-up meetings and have ongoing feedback so we can refine the strategies as needed. So review part 2, we're going to provide for you the savings, you greenlight which ones you want us to implement, and we're going to help you with that ongoing management. A little point about the ongoing management. This service that we provide for you, it's so that you can view us as an extension of your staff, right? Again, going back to one of the problems is you have limited support when it comes to this weird category of wireless management. So we want to be an extension of your staff. You'll have assigned a couple team members from my team that will be there for you. We have a ticketing system. You can text us on our cell. You will have our emails. It's a very straightforward, open line of communication between us and your team. And we do this so we can ensure for you there are no billing errors, there's no missed promotions, and if there's rate changes, we are there to catch it before that bill cycles. So this will also include handling like your device usage when it comes to ordering new equipment, procurement. Just think of any carrier related task, just give it to us. We're going to be your help desk, okay? Just offload everything to us. It's going to reduce a lot of your frustration. So with that said, the 3 steps: we audit your account, we present to you the findings, we implement and begin our monthly management. So with that said, I now want to share just a brief video. Let me share my screen. This video, you might recognize him. His name is Jim. He's the controller for K-Post Roofing in DFW. That's where they're located. So they're very active in the DFW CFMA chapter. His name is Jim. They brought our team on several months ago, and I was able to interview him for just a few quick minutes so he can share his thoughts on our work. So I'm going to play that video for y'all. And someone like wave their arms or something if you can't hear the audio.
K-Post is one of the largest residential roofing companies in the DFW area and surrounding area. You know, as a financial leader in a company responsible for the expenditures of a company, you're always looking for ways to save, and IT is no exception. So when we had that initial conversation, I figured, well, if you're going to save me money, you're going to share that cost with me. It's really a no-brainer. In addition to that, you're always trying to provide the right tools for your team that are going to help them be able to operate efficiently, save them time. And in addition to saving money, it was really a no-brainer.
Jim, what motivated you to make the decision to move forward with using our team, Mobilia Consulting?
Sure. Well, as a financial leader and being responsible for the finances of a company, you're always trying to find new ways to save. And when we had that initial lunch together, that initial meeting, you virtually guaranteed that you're going to save us money. And again, if you can save me money and I can create efficiencies as well, because I know the frustrations we've had with certain IT services, you virtually guaranteed that it would get better. And so to me, it was a no-brainer to give you a try. And immediately within the first month, we've seen a result in our costs, and I've seen less frustration with team members.
Is there anything that surprised you when it came to working with us?
I don't think there's anything that really surprised me. I certainly had some expectations in working with you, and you certainly met those expectations. Again, just to reiterate, you're always trying to find the right tools so your team can function. And IT was no exception. So what some of the things that you have to consider is providing the right tools, creating the right efficiencies, making sure the right people with the right knowledge are utilizing the tools that they've been given. I was dealing with a certain company directly, and I am no IT expert. So it's really nice to have somebody on your team that you can delegate to, trusting that they're going to do a very good job. And one of the things I remember is a quote from Henry Ford is, "I don't know everything, but the people around me do." So when you have good people on your team to delegate to, you can really put your trust in them and be confident the job is going to get done right. Well, what I would say to a partner is, what do you have to lose? You have an opportunity to make things more efficient, to be more educated, to save time, and to save money. You really have nothing to lose.
Okie dokie. So I'm sure some of y'all recognize him. He's a pretty cool dude. So you might have noticed a couple things that Jim had brought up that no doubt has piqued your interest. Jim said within the first month he saw savings, and because of that, he had also a lot less frustration with the team. And I wanted to build on that next sentence that he said. Jim had mentioned, if you're going to save me money and share in the cost with me, then it's a no-brainer. So I'd like to discuss that briefly, because you're probably thinking, well, how does our company get paid? Are we doing this out of the goodness of our heart for CFMA? Well, Jim had said it, we share in the cost. So one of the best parts about the support that we do offer is there are no upfront fees. There's no out-of-pocket expenses to work with us. We operate on a performance-based model, which means our fee is contingent upon the savings that, number one, we identify, and number two, which you approve and are implemented, and then are reflected directly on your monthly bill. So this benefits you because you don't have to budget for our service and our support. And this approach really ensures that we are transparent with our work, and we remain committed month after month to deliver you those measurable cost reductions without any financial risk to you. So at this point, you're probably a little intrigued and you're thinking, okay, this is simple, this is straightforward, maybe it's too little good to be true. They're going to offer me a cost reduction strategy with no upfront fees, maybe 40% savings. Well, I want to do one more video. And this is another K-Post Roofing employee, team member. His name is Daniel. He kind of does a lot of things for K-Post. He wears a lot of hats. He's an HR manager, he's the IT director. And so he has a very hands-on approach with the wireless management. So for you on the meeting today, if you're like Daniel, where you're wearing a lot of hats and you've had to do a lot of the ongoing management, then this video will probably speak to you. So sharing my screen once again, here we go. Advice would you give to a company considering our cost reduction services, but feeling a bit hesitant?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably it's very simple, just do it. Just because there's so much education that you guys bring. You guys aren't pushing a sale. You guys are leading with education. So I think that there's a lot of value in giving people the most education possible and letting them make that decision. And the way that you guys present everything is so clear and concise that it would be very ignorant to not just go with it and save a little bit of money.
Daniel, was there anything that surprised you about the cost reduction process or the ongoing management support?
Yeah, just the ease of everything. I mean, it was literally just kind of turn over the keys, give you guys the transparency and the visibility that you need. You guys put everything together for us in a very digestible manner. It wasn't with all these different codes and these different names for any rebates that we may have had. It was very, very easy, digestible. And it made me feel like maybe I could do what you guys do, but I think you guys do it a lot better than me. So I think just the ease of it, the support that you guys give, when you guys show up on calls, it is a full team. So to know that you not only have the person who is your dedicated representative, but to also have, you know, someone who's founded the company, other hands that are doing different parts of the department. You see everybody, everyone's on a call, so everyone knows their marching orders, and there is no miscommunication.
Daniel, what specific challenges or inefficiencies were you facing with your wireless expenses before partnering with Mobilia?
Yeah, so whenever I inherited this, the project and taking care of all of our IT and our mobile expenses, there wasn't a lot of direction as far as how everything had been set up before, which is very natural. It's just kind of, you manage this, here's the lines you add, we have a need, go buy it. Try to save as much as you can. So I think that was an inefficiency in itself, because I was taking the recommendation of our sales rep, who at the end of the day for Verizon is trying to make a lot of money. And so yes, we did get a deal here and there. I think you guys have really uncovered for us is that we weren't spending very efficiently. We are spending now in a way that is helping us and more advantageous to us. So I think it was how we're spending, what we're spending, and then obviously is just the education behind it, just not really knowing and understanding how our mobile carrier prices everything out. And you guys were able to come in and really show us in digestible terms, layman's terms, how everything works.
What made you initially consider using Mobilia Consulting for wireless cost reduction?
I think one of the things that made us comfortable was that you guys were coming off of a recommendation from one of our partners at NRP. So the initial comfort that someone was already in talks, was very comforting and let us know that you guys are standing out from the rest if, you know, our partners are choosing to work with you. So I think just the word of mouth. And then whenever you guys actually started having the discovery calls, you were very thorough. You were not pushy. Again, I think the overarching message is that you guys lead with just education. And it is truly a consultation that you guys have with us and say, here is everything that we have. Here's what you're spending. Here's how we can save. What do you want to do? I think that you really, really listened to us and you looked at our needs and you said, and you ask questions. You ask, why do you use this in that way? What is the need for having this many devices? So you wanted to understand our business. I think that just made it very easy for us to want to keep working with you.
Daniel, how has our monthly management support contributed to your team's day-to-day operations?
Yeah, it's saving me tons of time, whereas I could spend, you know, maybe an hour or so a day, 2 hours a day, just trying to, if we're in a rush to get some type of mobile solutions, trying to coordinate that with Verizon. You guys have taken that off my plate. All I do is submit a ticket. You handle the back end. You handle all of the pesky approvals because I'll get 6 of them. Some of them work, some of them expired. And then you guys do the hard thing, which is making the right decision for us. I tell you what the need is and you guys go out and you achieve it. And so with that, I think you've maximized more of my time, which gives me time to spend more on the rest of the business. So I think you're saving us a lot more money than just what is on paper and what is going into mobile spend.
Cool. Okay, so as Daniel said, we really want to get to know you get to know your unique business, understand the challenges and your current management process. That way we can see if it's a good fit for us to partner with you. Not every business is the same. Not every company is going to need the same plan. So we first want to understand your needs. That way we can fill in the gap if there is room for improvement and if it's going to be a good partnership for the both of us. So now what? What is the next step from here? To get started with our service, the process is straightforward and client focused. What we can do is we'll set up a 15, maybe 20-minute meeting. We do it on Teams, Zoom, again, and person. And we want to understand your specific needs and your current wireless setup. So if we find that we are a good fit, then we're going to conduct our audits of the last 12 months of your invoices to identify those potential saving opportunities. And then with your approval, we'll get them implemented and begin our monthly management. So once this meeting concludes, you'll get an email, obviously, with the recording of this meeting, but I will be sending out my contact information with my scheduling link. You can easily just click it and schedule a 15 or a 20-minute block on our calendar. Most of you should have my contacts. As Laura had said, I'm in the Austin chapter and we try to stay relevant on social media, so you can always find me on there. But at this point, I'd like to open it up to anyone. If you have questions about anything that we covered, you could raise your hand. Laura can call on you. You can put it in the chats. But this is an opportunity to ask questions if you do have some. Cool. If there's no questions, that means I answered all the questions before they were asked. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a good question, Grant. So good news is because of our partnership with CFMA, we do not have a minimum or a maximum for us to work with each other. And that's the beauty of our affinity partnership. Outside of CFMA, our minimum is 300 devices/lines. But because we are a partner with CFMA, we have taken away that minimum. That way we are truly inclusive to everyone and not leaving any company out. Cool. Awesome. Well, we have 1 minute and no one likes to go over. In fact, we celebrate when we leave early. So thank y'all for having me. As mentioned, I'll send out my contact information. That way we can get that 15-minute meeting scheduled and get rolling.
All right, thank you, Hannah. As she said, I'm going to send up that follow-up email with the recording. I want to thank you all for attending today. Our next session of the member benefit series will be held on December 9th, and it's going to feature an overview of our top member benefits, so you won't want to miss it. Details with registration information will be shared soon. In the meantime, reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you all and have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.